Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Luke Sakura. Thanks for taking the time to watch this very important video on the 7 skill sets you must learn in order to become successful at network marketing. This goes for any network marketing company that you're in, or MLM if you will, okay? Now, I'm involved personally in a company called Le-Vel. We have a product line called Thrive. It's an all-natural based product. If you have not checked it out, please make sure to go to www.justdothrive.level.com, okay? And go ahead and check that out, watch the video, and tell me what your favorite part was and get back to me, all right? Now, I made a previous video for those of you who haven't not watched it yet. I've attached a link at the bottom so you can go and view the first 3 skills as the skill number 1 here out of the 7 to become successful at network marketing was finding prospects. And finding prospects, we start with making your list and expanding that list. All right, the second skill that I taught you guys already was how to properly invite prospects to find out more about your product or opportunity. All right, and the last skill set, skill number 3, I taught you in the last video, presenting your product or opportunity to your prospects. All right, now those first 3 skills are very, very important, and without those 3 skills, you probably will fail at network marketing. All right, so take the time to learn the necessary skill sets to be the master, to be the professional, and to be successful at network marketing. So here I've got the skill sets number 4, 5, 6, and 7. There's only 7 skill sets, guys, to learn, not 70, just 7. It's very easy, as you're going to find out. Now, these skill sets are amongst the highest paid skill sets in the entire world. If these skill sets were taught in a college class, it would be one of the easiest classes to actually take. So, are you willing to take the time to learn these skill sets to become successful at something that you're passionate about? All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. We're on skill number 4 of the 7, following up with your prospects. Now, they say in the network marketing industry that the fortune is in the follow-up, all right? And I highly believe this. And you know, most people don't even follow up, or at least not professionally, okay? First thing, the important concepts to understand to master this skill, all right? Follow up is doing what you said you would do, okay? Now, when you follow up with somebody, you need to have your calendar ready, all right? Pull out your phone as soon as you follow up with somebody, all right? You're going to set the next exposure, and when you do that, you're going to need to pull out that calendar, and you're going to have to schedule that in, all right? So, when you do follow up, guys, this is very, 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 very important. Now, let's just say, for example, you've been trying to get this very huge job, and the boss has a meeting, and you need to be there at 10 o'clock, and this job depends on whether you get it or not, okay? Or this job meeting depends on whether you get it or not get the job. And the job meeting is at 10 a.m. and your boss tells you, don't be late, right? So what happens if you show up at 10:05 or 10 after 10? You're probably not going to get that job. I highly doubt it, especially if it's a big corporation that is a very highly paid company that you're about to get yourself into. Okay, so my concept here is you're either early or you're either late. Don't be late. If it's at 10 o'clock, you show up at 9:55, or you show up at 9:50, or even 9:45, all right? Be proactive, show up early, and don't be late. If you show up at 10 o'clock, guys, you're late. Don't show up late, all right? That's the whole point. Be early. Now, remember, the only reason for an exposure, okay, we went over what an exposure was, is presenting your product or opportunity with a tool, all right? If I gave you a video, a link with a video on it, would you watch it, all right? That is an exposure, giving them a tool to use to learn from. So, the only reason for that exposure, all right, for that tool to educate them, help them understand, the only reason for that is to set up the next exposure. Okay? Don't leave an exposure without setting up the next one. Okay? Now, when you do that, or if you set up an exposure and say, hey, if I gave you a link to a video that explains this opportunity a lot better than I can, would you watch it? They say yes. Okay? You confirm the time. You confirm the time commitment again. Okay? They end up saying yes 3 or 4 times to you. All right? And if you just say, okay, great, let me know after you finish watching it what you thought. Okay, right there. Bang! Don't do that, okay? Do not ask them to call you back because they never will. Never, 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 never leave an exposure without setting up the next one. Be professional. Set up the next meeting, all right? Very, very important. You're going to repeat this process until the prospect is educated enough to make a decision, all right? We're here to educate and help understand, okay? Now, that is our goal, and we're here to do that until we feel that the prospect is educated enough to make that educated decision, whether or not they want to be a part of this, whether or not they want to be a customer or a promoter, okay? Very important. Next. When following up, all right? Now, we went over the 8 steps to a professional invitation in skill 2 in the previous video, all right? So you've set up, they're going to watch your video, and you said, okay, great, I'll call you at this time tomorrow, or I'll call you Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Now, what happens, right, when they don't review the material that they said yes 4 times? They said yes 4 times they were going to review the material, all right? And when you call them back at that scheduled time and they did not watch it, they did not review that material, okay, first thing you need to do is not get upset. Do not get upset, guys. It's okay. Stuff like this happens. And you don't need to get upset about it, all right? Instead, just say, hey, I understand, okay? Life gets busy, and we're going to go ahead and repeat the exposure, all right? So I understand. It's okay. Life gets busy, right? When do you think you can watch it for sure? Okay? You're laughing, saying, this guy, for sure, what's up with that, right? Let me tell you what's up with that. For sure works. You should try it. If they don't watch or review your material, when can you watch it for sure? And just repeat that process, repeat the exposure, okay? Until they do. All right? Now, if they did review the material, what do, right? How do you follow up with that? First thing you don't do, guys, is say, what did you like? Or what did you think? Now, asking that question does not give you 100% positive answer to that, right? That question right there, they can answer positively or they can answer negatively. Now, we want them to answer positively, right? So let's ask them questions that lead to a positive answer, okay? Like, what did you like best? Okay? What did you like best, right? Now, let's say they said, well, I like the product and I like the whole 8-week experience, the whole 8-week Thrive experience, and I like the fact that you can set a goal, and with 8 weeks, you can accomplish that goal using this product. I really like that. Okay, great. Well, now, since we're repeating exposure after exposure until they're ready, now we know the next exposure probably is going to let them try the product. Okay? Now, if they say, well, I really like the business opportunity aspect of it. I like the fact that you can make money doing this. And, the product, it might work for me. And, I think that'd be pretty cool too, of course. But, it sounds like this product's really good. And it sounds like it'd be pretty easy to get people really liking this, Thrive product. And from that, I think I can really make a lot of money, right? That's what I like about the video. You say, okay, great. So the next exposure might be for that person. Okay, let's go ahead and schedule a time to go over the compensation plan. Or let's go ahead and schedule next time to show you exactly how to get those kinds of results. Okay, and you set up the next exposure. All right. Now, if they answer the question with such enthusiasm to where they are super, super, super excited, okay, some people might be ready to join sooner than others, okay? It takes an average of 4 to 6 exposures before somebody joins or is educated enough to make that decision. But some people, okay, are faster, all right? That's an average 4 to 6. Some people are ready on the first or second. So, after each exposure, this is what I do. Depending on their excitement level, I ask them. On a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you're not interested at all, to 10 being you're ready to get started right now. Just ask them, where are you? Where are you at? Tell me where you're at on that scale, okay? All right, now, if it's super high, you know, if it's a 9 or a 10, go ahead and close the deal, all right? We'll go over that here in a minute. Now, if it's a low number, okay, first you can ask them, okay, what can I do to make that number higher? Now, their answer is going to lead you to which exposure you give them next, which tool you give them next, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do. If the answer is low, we're going to go ahead and set up the next appropriate exposure, okay? Now, never ending the exposure without setting up the next, like we talked about. 4 to 6 exposures on average. Make that your priority, guys. We're here to educate people about the product and help people understand about what kind of opportunity that is actually in front of them. All right? That's what we're here for. And it takes about 4 to 6 times of educating somebody and helping them understand using these tools. 4 to 6 times on average before they're comfortable and before they're educated enough to actually make that decision. All right? So make that your focus. Be their coach. Be their teacher, right? Be their friend and care about them with sincerity. All right? That's very important. 4 to 6 exposures on average. Like I said, some people are faster. Some people are slower. So you can always ask the 1 to 10 on the scale question. If you think that they're faster, you think that they're ready, okay? Some people might not be. It's okay. Now, the professionals in this industry condense exposures for better results. They make them faster. They make them quicker, right? They create the urgency, okay? Now, posers, they prospect somebody one time and then they move on. Don't do that, all right? Don't be a poser. Amateurs prospect someone through several exposures. Okay, that's good. Amateurs, they actually do some things correctly, and they actually want the results, and they do what's necessary in some cases. All right, so they prospect someone walk someone through several exposures over time. Okay, over time. It takes them a very, very long time to do this. All right. Now you might say you watch my video on week 1. You say, okay, oh, great, I'll call you next week. All right, and then they call next week, and then they say, okay, great, I'd like to try the product. All right, cool, we'll get together a couple weeks, and we can try to share the product. And then a month later, they try to bring them to a meeting. You see how far apart those exposures are? Every time you set up a new exposure when they're that far apart, it's like starting all over again. And you got to repeat the whole thing all over again. And all that work that you did in the beginning, it doesn't mean too much right now. All right? So condense those exposures, okay? Professionals condense exposures into the shortest time possible. So, as a professional, now this is what I learned from the professionals, and this is what I do. Now, we're going to watch the short video, first tool, follow up with them either a couple hours later or the next day. Ask them what their favorite part was. They say, I like the product or I like the opportunity. Okay. So set them up with the next exposure, let them try the product, and by the time they're trying the product, by the first or second day on it, you invite them to your local meeting, all within 1 week. Now, you condense your exposures all within 1 week, 3 or 4 exposures, right? It's going to give that customer or that prospect a better opportunity to realize what kind of opportunity they have, and then it's going to help them realize how valuable the product is. Okay? So the chances, the ratio, the turnover is going to be much, much, much higher this way with condensed exposures. Okay? Questions and objections. This is where a lot of people have great questions. A lot of people don't know how to answer these questions, and they do it the whole totally wrong way. So, how you respond is very, very important, all right? You can be offensive, okay? And you say, they say, oh, is this an MLM or is this one of those pyramid schemes? And you're like, what? Heck no, this isn't a pyramid scheme. This is blah, 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 blah. And you just start talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. And you become very offensive, right? And they're going to run away. You think that's going to help the situation? No, all right? You can also be defensive, right? Say, no, it's not one of those things. It's not like that. Heck no. I wouldn't be in a pyramid scheme, right? And you're just kind of reserved, and you're like, no way. Get real defensive about it. I don't think that's going to help either. All right? Don't be too offensive. Don't be too defensive, okay? Because how you respond is very, very important. So let's go over some of these. Now, here's some tactics on how to overcome these obstacles, okay? And now remember, tactics, they come and go, okay? We really want to focus on the whole concept, okay? Now, concepts are timeless, okay, because tactics come and go. As you get the whole concept down, your tactics, you can always improvise with your tactics, whichever works best, Tell you 1 and 2 here, objection category type 1, okay? Prospects limiting belief in network marketing, okay? This is where the prospects, they don't think network marketing can make them successful, all right? These are the people that have the objections. There's 2 types of people. People right here that don't believe that network marketing can make them successful, right? And objection category number 2, there's the other type of prospects that have a limiting belief in themselves. They don't believe in their own abilities to become successful. Okay, they don't think that they can actually do it, right? Well, that's not true either. The first one's not true, and we're here to let them know what we found to work, okay? Now, for both, the best concept here is empathy, and empathy is how you relate to people, okay? Feel, felt, found, right? Feel, felt, found. I really like this, and it's real easy to use, and it works really well. So, if somebody has an objection, they say, I just don't have any money, and I just don't have the time right now, okay? What's your response? Say, it's okay. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way. And you know what? This is what I found that worked for me. And then you go ahead and tell your little story, right? Feel, felt, found. Pretty easy, okay? Now, objection category number 1. Is this a pyramid scheme, right? Oh my gosh, this is a pyramid? Is this a pyramid scheme? Right? Now, instead of taking out of your back pocket, you're taking out your wallet, you're pulling out a $1 bill out of it, and you turn it around, you'll notice a pyramid with a government eyeball right in the middle looking right at you, right? Are you going to pull that dollar bill out of that person that says this is a pyramid scheme? And you pull that dollar bill out and say, like this? Is this what you mean, pyramid scheme? Right? That's what I used to do. Surely didn't work for me. They became more cautious. So, I've learned, hey, is this a pyramid scheme? You step back and you say, oh, Oh, you must have a story. Did you try MLM before? Okay. You step back and you let them tell their story. And they say, yeah, I tried it a few years back and I didn't make any money. And you say, okay. Now, real quick, remember, ask the right questions. Ask questions that lead to a positive answer. So, yeah, I tried it a few years ago. I didn't make any money. Okay, well, why do you think you didn't make any money? Well, I signed up a couple people and, they didn't really do anything with it. And they said that they were all pumped up and they got involved and they just didn't do anything. I didn't make any money and it was just worthless and I hated it. I did all this work and nobody signed up and the people that didn't do any work. Wow. And you say, okay, well, so do you think it was the network marketing that was the problem? Or do you think maybe it just wasn't the right time for you? And they'll most likely say, yeah, it could have been could have been the wrong time for me. Yeah, I understand. That's how you go about doing the pyramid scheme, right? Objection category number 2. No time, no money. I don't want to bug my friends or family. So if they say, I don't want to bug my friends or family, say, well, what makes you think you're going to bug your friends and family? If you believed in a product so much, wouldn't you want to tell your friends and family? Let me ask you this. If I could show you a way to approach your friends and family without it making it sound like a sales pitch, would that help? All right? Okay? Ask questions when they object. Okay? Don't get so defensive. Don't get so offensive, right? Have fun with it. All right, so we're back here on skill number 5, okay? Helping your prospects become customers or promoters, okay? Now, this is a natural byproduct of skill number 4, following up with your prospects, okay? Now, if you walk prospects through exposure after exposure, our goal of education and understanding will be achieved, all right? Exposure after exposure after exposure, our goal of education and understanding will be achieved, okay? It's your job to get them to a decision, okay? You walk them through all these exposures, guys. They're not going to come to you and say, hey, where do I sign up at? How do I sign up? I'm ready, right? They're not going to come to you. It's your job to help them make that decision. The key to success in this area is a combination of good posture, right? Good posture and asking good questions. Like I said before, ask good questions. Ask questions that lead to a positive result or a positive answer, okay? Next. The pros are emotionally detached from the outcome, all right? Their goal is education and understanding, and to help a prospect make a decision that will positively impact their lives. All right? So, number 2, the professionals are very assumptive in their approach. They expect the person to join. That's how rock solid they are. They expect a person to join. They get shocked when somebody says no, because of how confident they are and how well they know this whole system, these skill sets. They know these skill sets so well, and because learning these skill sets make it so easy and makes your ratio just super, super high, professionals are very shocked when they get a no. Okay? The professionals promote themselves. The prospect gets you. They get you. They get me. I believe in this so much. I'm taking this to the very, very, very top. All right? And you can come with me. I'm not going to work for you, but you can work with me and come with me to the top. All right? You get me. And that's where I'm going. All right? That's how the professionals do it. The professionals are always prepared, okay? They have everything they need to get started on the spot, all right? They've got the product. They've got the tools. They know where to go to find all the meetings and find all the calls, all right? They know where to go to get plugged into everything, all right? They're properly prepared. They know a little bit about the compensation plan. They have their story. They know their story. They know the business opportunity as well, presentation, okay? They're very, very prepared for anything, okay? And learning these 7 skill sets, guys, it's easy and it will get you prepared, okay? Next, number 5, the professionals ask question after question and are great listeners. They focus on being interested in you rather than being interesting, okay? Rather than doing all of this, talking about themselves, they're actually more interested in you, okay? They act like a consultant, helping somebody with a problem. Now, a professional consultant, if they have somebody in their office that has a problem, they have to ask question after question after question in order for them to find a solution for that problem, okay? So, that brings me to the professionals use questions as their most powerful tool, all right? Question after question after question, exposure after exposure after exposure, okay? Get the picture? Now, into action, okay? Act emotionally detached, okay? Detached from the outcome, focus on the process. Act assumptive that people would join, all right? Now, when I did this, at first, you know, I didn't assume that they would join, to be honest with you, right? I didn't have that confidence yet, but I still made it clear and made it sure that I presented it that way, okay? Tell people, you get me, and that's what I did. Hey, you get me, woohoo! I didn't think that was such a big deal at first. Now I realize that I do. Very, very important that you get me, right? Always be prepared. Ask lots of questions. Focus on being interested, right? Now, when working to help a prospect make a positive decision, act like a consultant. Ask questions that lead to a positive direction, right? This is just going over this again, guys. This is very important. Asking the right questions and asking those questions that lead to a positive direction, okay? Be like a consultant, okay? Do what the consultants do. Question after question. All right, next. Good questions to ask, right? Did it make sense to you? Pretty exciting, isn't it? Can you see how this can be an opportunity for you, right? Now, my favorite question is this one, letter D. What did you like best? Okay? Now, this answer, what did you like best, is almost always positive, and I love it. What did you like best? And we kind of went over this, but I'm going to go over this again. What did you like best? I love this question because not only do you get a positive result, okay, the answer that they give you, I liked the product part about it the best, or I like the business opportunity part of it about, the best. So now we know which exposure to give them next, right? Exposure after exposure, question after question, okay? Educate and understand, all right? Good questions. Let me ask you on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being you're not interested at all, to 10 being you're ready to get started right now. Where are you? Okay? If you feel they need more information, guide them to the next exposure that would help them out the best. Okay? If you feel they're ready, ask these 4 questions. This, very, very fun and very important. Okay? You're going to learn these 4 questions over and over, and I want you to memorize these because these are really, you need to stick to the script with these 4 questions. So, I say 1 through 10, where are you? If they feel, okay, that they're ready, ask them these 4 questions, all right? Write these down. Everybody take notes. You're going to need these, and these are very, very powerful tool right here, okay? The 4-question close is what I call it. Based upon what you had just seen, if you were to get started with this company on a part-time basis, approximately how much would you need to earn per month in order to make this worth your time? Okay? So they say $2,000 a month, it would be worth my time, for sure. Say, okay, great. Question 2. Approximately how many hours could you commit each week to develop that kind of income? All right? Now, what this question does, right, is makes them check their mental calendar. They've got to think, okay, how many hours could I commit? Well, they got this going on, they got this going on. How much time they're thinking, how much TV do I have to sacrifice, right? Okay? So they're checking their mental calendar right there, right? Question 2. Question 3. How many months would you work these kinds of hours in order to develop that kind of income? All right? Average response might be 2 or 3 months, okay? So let's just say 3 months. So, and they said they can fit in, 15 hours a week, okay? For 3 months. So, question number 4, and this is a great question right here, the best question. If I can show you how to develop an income of, the answer to question 1, $2,000 a month, working, question number 2, working 15 hours a week over the course of, answer to question number 3, 3 months, would you be ready to get started? Okay? Just like that. 4-question close. And when they say, yeah, you get them signed up and walk them through the process. Okay? Okay, guys, now we're back on skill number 6 here, helping your new promoter after they sign up. Now we're going to help them get started. Okay? Now, when you sign somebody up as a promoter, you're not done. No. You are not done. You want that promoter to be successful too, right? You don't just leave him hanging out there for him to figure everything out, or she. Okay? This is what we're going to do. And this is what the professionals do. They set up proper expectations. They help get quick results. They continue to guide them through the many phases of our profession. Here's the game plan, guys. Game plan. Interview. We're going to interview them. Part 1. Okay? Question number 1. Validate their decision to become a promoter. So, right when they sign up, this is what we're going to say. I want to congratulate you and say you are taking the right steps in the right direction. From now on, it's going to be different for you and your family. Validate their decision that they just made to become a promoter. Game plan interview part 2. Okay? Set their expectations. Wow. Now this is great. Okay? Here we go. After you say congratulate them, today it's going to be different from now on for you and your family. All right? Now, also I want to let you know that if you succeed and you become successful at this business, it is because of you. It's not because of me. Would you agree? Yes. If you fail and you're a failure at this business, it's not because of me. It's because of you. You are the difference between success and between failure. That really makes things real for them, right? Now, with this industry, and everybody in this industry goes through these, there's going to be good times and there's going to be bad times. And I'm going to know when you're going through a bad time, when you stop calling me on the phone, you stop coming to these meetings, and when you start making excuses. Now, I've got a question, and be honest with me, what do you want me to do when you're going through one of those bad times? Do you want me to leave you alone? Or do you want me to remind you as an accountability partner and be persistent to remind you why you signed up in the first place? What do you want me to do? Just ask them. What? Okay? Very important right here to ask them, because If you skip this step right here and you sign up a promoter and then they start not doing anything and then you're calling them and calling them and calling them, they're never going to answer your phone call because you didn't set this up properly before that happened. And it's going to happen with everybody. So everybody needs to be asked this particular question. What do you want me to do when you're going through a bad time? And they usually say, I want you to be persistent. Sometimes I need an extra little push. Please, yes, remind me why I signed up and did this in the first place. Okay? Game plan interview part 3. Go through the getting started checklist. Okay? And the concept behind this whole checklist, you want them to get quick results. Right? Make sure your new promoter is set up with the appropriate products. Not only are you going to get a month's supply for yourself, probably on auto ship, so it keeps coming as a promoter, but you're going to order at least twice that, if not 3 or 4 or 5 times that amount, to become prepared to share that product with everybody else. There's a lot of people to share this product with, and you need to be prepared and have it with you. What else do you need? You might need some brochures. You might need some business cards, okay? Get everything and prepare yourself for what's coming. Because when you learn these 7 skills, things start coming pretty fast and you start getting pretty quick results. And it gets really, really fun. All right? Make sure they have the appropriate products. Number 2, make sure you have the appropriate tools. And this goes with the exposure process. So, I was just having a meeting earlier tonight before I made this video, and all the new promoters, I made sure they had the right tools before they left. So, what's a tool? Okay, they all have the link that they signed up with, right? They sign up as a promoter or a customer, and what do they get? They get their own URL link. Okay, when you go to that link, a video pops up. Boom, there's your tool, right? Everybody has that. Everybody, we're going to get you the products. Okay, that's one of the tools you're going to need. Okay, number 3 now, what else? What's another tool, right? 24-hour recorded phone calls is a great tool to use, okay? Meetings. There's meetings going on in your local area, all right? We're going to get you plugged in and let you, use that as a tool as well. It's very, very important. Remember, that's the most important tool, is the physical tool, okay? The meetings. Number 3, make sure they get connected. Now, this is something I had to do. Now, in your back office, when you sign up as a promoter in Le-Vel, in your back office, you go to Cloud Login, log in. Right when you log in, you default to the home page, and you scroll down. Right in the middle, there's a video. Right below that video, there's all the leadership updates and all the news that's going on. So they host different calls and stuff there. They do updates, policies, compliance issues. You just want to keep really interactive with that, keep up to date with everything that the corporate office is promoting and sending out. Another way is you get plugged in, guys. Everybody's got Facebook pages, Facebook groups that you can be involved in. Add yourself to that. Get your upline to add you if you can't, all right? Because they're going to be releasing phone calls, okay? 3-way calls. They're going to be doing telecommunicated or teleconference calls, stuff like that. They'll be promoting meetings for you to stay in touch with. You can interact and be a part of that community. All right, so stay connected. That's very important. Number 4, teach them a basic idea of the compensation plan. You sign up 2 promoters, you sign up 2 customers directly underneath you. If all 4 of those people equal $800, you get your VIP 800 bonus, and you make $400 in bonus and $100 in Le-Vel credits. Well, you do that one more time to where now you have 4 promoters and you have 4 customers, and now that all total equals up to $1,600. Now you just hit VIP 1,600. Now remember, all of these have to be done in the first 14 days when purchasing your product for the very first time. Okay? Now, but when that happens, you get an additional $400 bonus, and you get an additional $100 Le-Vel credit. All right, so that's $1,000 in your pocket right there in your first 14 days. Now, in particular, my team learning these 7 skills that are easy to duplicate and teach others. Now, my team, I teach how to do it within 3 days. Okay, within 3 days. Okay? That's just me. That's just my team, how I want to approach it. Number 5, make sure they understand how to invite prospects to understand more about what they have to offer. Skill number 2, guys, remember skill number 2, we're going to go over the 8 steps to a professional invitation. Okay? Go over the 8 steps to a professional invitation. Right? You remember those? Game plan interview part 4. Number 1, come up with a game plan to help them meet their first ranks and challenge them. Ooh, I like that. Challenge them to do it quickly. All right? Everybody works a little harder when they are challenged. Okay? Game plan interview part 5. Number 1, end with specific assignments. So, my first assignment when I have a new promoter sign up, okay, end with specific assignments and have a deadline. Okay, new promoters crave direction. We're going to repeat over and over, just like exposures. Now we have them as a promoter, right? That's what we ultimately wanted, for them to be a promoter. Do we stop with the exposure process? No. No. Now we keep it going to help them out and to get them the results now, right? So, end with specific assignments. Day 1, you just signed up. Okay, guys, now this is what we're going to do. I want you to have a list made. All right? I want 100 people. I want 50 people. I want 200 people. Whatever you want to do, whatever you feel comfortable with. All right? This is what you tell your brand new promoters. I want you to have a list made, and I want it done by Wednesday night. Or I want it done tomorrow. Or I want it done whatever. You know? It'd be better to say I want it done by tomorrow, because, guys, I'm teaching people how to hit their goals, how to hit that $1,000 in their first 3 days. So, you know, I want this done quick. And you trust me, you're gonna like what I'm setting you up for, okay? Now, put a deadline on there and challenge them. Challenge them. All right? Help them get over the line and stay. Now, this is very important. When you have a new promoter sign up and he doesn't make any money in the first month, chances are he's probably going to quit. It's going to be very easy for him to quit because he really doesn't have much going on. So, now, in my team, our goal is to make $1,000 in your first 3 days. And so that means you've got 4 promoters and 4 customers who've all bought something, right? Now, once you do that, you're going to go from on this side of the line, okay, to this side of the line. And when you get your promoter over to the other side of the line, it's going to be very hard for them to quit because they have a lot going on in their team now. They actually have a team, and they've seen their first paycheck, you know. When I first saw my paycheck, that was the day this business became real to me. And that's what we're going to get for you. I want your first paycheck within your first 3 days, right? Okay, guys, we're back here on the last skill number 7. We're going to go ahead and start promoting events, okay? Now, this is very, very simple. In network marketing, meetings make money. I don't care how much technology is out there. Nothing compares to face-to-face interaction, okay? Now, the most powerful meeting is the destination event out of all those meetings. Now, you've got your one-on-one meetings, you've got your local events, maybe some bigger events, okay? Now, those meetings are very, very important and will lead you to be successful at your organization. But the most important event out of all meetings is the destination events, okay? And destination events are usually put on by the corporate or the CEOs of the company. Maybe they're put on by the uplines that are way up there above you and your team, all right? And these destination events are usually out of the city or out of the state even, where you've got to fly there, you've got to drive there, you've got to carpool there. The pros use the events as a cornerstone for their business. Now, at one of these big events, one very top leader stated, "You can tell the size of the man by the size of the problem that gets him down." And when I heard this, you know, I took it took it right to heart. And you know, that helped me out a lot when I was depressed or down or discouraged or nervous or frustrated, right? And I said, when that happened, I said, is this the size of Luke? I said, no, that's not the size of Luke. I get back up on my feet, get out there, and I get it done. At these events, people give up blaming. People decide to become a professional at these events. And we realize that no one can stop us at these events. We decide to go to the very top at an event like this. Okay? Events are very, very, very powerful. Okay? And now, in the world today, there's a lot of arrogant people in network marketing that try to push you away and push you down and put negativity towards you in your life. But when you go to these destination events here, okay, you get involved with people that are like yourself. You get people that are like-minded, that bring you up, that motivate you, that inspire you. You get to hear stories and testimonials, okay? And these meetings are great to get away to because of this. And after getting along and talking and interacting with all these people face to face, getting inspired and motivated, when you get back home into the world, all right, you've got that extra push. And you can get that extra step going and achieve that goal. All right, and that's what that's for. Okay, next. Once you understand how important these destination events are to the success of your business, you must learn to effectively promote them to your team. And it's simple. The more people you bring, the more money you're going to make in your organization. The top leaders know exactly how many people, first of all, show up to their events. And their goal is to make that number grow at each event. Okay? Now, let's give you an example. We've got 2 promoters. Each promoter has a team of 100 people. We have promoter A, who makes it a priority to promote their meeting and get everybody that they can on their team to these meetings no matter what. Promoter B, on the other hand, doesn't try, right? He promotes it, he puts it out there with a flyer maybe and expects people to register. And because of that, only a few sign up and a few attend, right? So, type A and type B, who do you think is going to be more successful? Guys, it's not even a contest. It really isn't. Okay? So, what do we learn from this, guys? Lead by example and never miss an event yourself. All right, these are very important. I don't care what obstacle you have, you need to find a solution. If it's carpooling or if it's borrowing money from your grandma or your mom or your dad or a friend or a family relative, guys, you need to get it done. You need to make every single event and be a leader. That comes first. At one of these events, one of my mentors and somebody who I actually learn a lot of this material from that I'm teaching you guys, his name is Eric Worre. And Eric Worre, a long, long time ago, many years ago, he was at an event. And he was standing next to he was standing next to the most paid earner in the entire company. It was like standing next to a celebrity. Oh my gosh. He was saying how excited it was and how nervous he was, and he kept trying to find the right words to say, and finally he introduced himself and he asked, "What's the secret?" And you know what that top earner said in that company? He said, "Let me tell you a story." And this story goes a little bit something like this. You see this meeting right here? You see this big room? It fits 2,000 people. Now, the next event we have, only half of those 2,000 people are going to show up. Now, the 1,000 people that do show up to the next meeting, on average, will be making twice the amount of everybody in the room. Now, your job is to be a part of that 1,000 people that does come back. Okay? And it doesn't stop there. The next meeting after that, 500 out of that 1,000 people will show up. That 500 people will now be making an average of 4 times the amount of everybody in the room. Okay? When you repeat this over and over, eventually you will find yourself among the highest paid earners in the room. And eventually you'll find yourself being the teacher and presenting, the one with the marker at the front of the room. You remember? The person with the marker is usually the one that makes the most money. Eventually that's where you'll find yourself if if you just keep coming back. Trust me. Okay? Now, once you're fully committed, the next step is to grow that number of people on your team that attend with you. Okay? So, announcer versus promoter. Now, the amateurs, they announce the meeting, they make the flyer, they put it out there, and then they expect people to just join and register. And is that going to happen? That's not going to happen. Like I said, only a handful of people might join and come on their own ambition. Okay? Now, being a promoter, guys, this is very important. You make things happen. You make the flyer, you put it out there, you push it, you run a campaign, you call everybody that you know, and you tell them the reasons why this meeting is so important and what they're going to benefit from going to these meetings and what their people that are underneath them are going to benefit from these meetings and how big their team is going to grow from going to these meetings. And you need to prioritize your life and you need to make it there. Guys, this is important. The promoters promote it like their life depends on it, because in reality, it does. Their life does depend on it. This is how we make a living. And so therefore, don't just announce it. You need to promote it. You get out there and you need to actually contact people, go to face, remind these people why and what these events are and what they can do for you and your family. Okay? Be a promoter. Don't buy someone else's excuse. Everybody's got excuses these days, and I've heard them all. Don't buy their excuse, because most of the time they're not real. At least they're not real enough, right? The professionals work with those people with the excuses. They sit down with them, and they go over a game plan and brainstorm how they can overcome that and find a way to come, right? They share their story maybe. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way, and this is what I found to work for me. Let's see what we can do for you, right? So, work with those guys and help them understand why it's so important to come to these meetings, and then brainstorm an idea on how they can accomplish their initial obstacle, right? Their initial excuse. So, the end conclusion of skill 7 here, tell your story. Don't buy theirs. Okay? Everybody's got an excuse. Everybody's got their own story. Everybody has their own life. Don't buy it. Make them buy yours. Okay? Remember that, guys. I'm very, very glad and I'm very happy that everybody here is taking the time to sit through these lengthy videos, guys. I hope I brought enough character here to keep you entertained, and I hope you guys have taken great notes, because great notes are going to turn into professionals if you practice them and you use them. You know, let me share a little tip, a little trick of what I do when I take notes and how I get to be able to somewhat memorize what I've learned, right? So I take the notes, I write down even word for word if I'm listening to an audio or whatever. Guys, you can turn the screen off and just listen to me talk. Take notes while I'm talking. You can even take them word for word, right? And then go over that, repeat that over and over again. Record yourself. Record yourself talking and repeating these notes over and over again. After you record yourself, listen to your video. Eventually, guys, you're going to get better and better and better, and watching yourself, you're going to notice what you need to fix. And when you fix that, you do it again. What else do you need to fix? You fix that, you do it again, you do it again. Eventually, guys, you're going to have this stuff memorized. Once you have all of these 7 skills memorized, guys, you will be a professional. You will make it to the top. You will be successful. And I congratulate every single one of you for taking the time to actually listen and try to learn these very, very important yet simple skills. Guys, the whole process that I'm doing here, right, is teaching a whole bunch of people to consistently do just a few simple things over an extended period of time. And you're going to teach the same thing to your downlines that you sign up. You're going to learn this, you're going to use it, and you're going to practice it over and over and over. And eventually you're going to have it down so good, you're going to be so confident that you can go back and flip around and turn around and teach your downline the same exact thing. And when that happens, you're going to see and realize how fast your team and your company's going to grow. You'd be surprised how many people you can actually help by doing this. And guys, you're going to love it. And I'm excited. I want to hear everybody's testimonials. Come on, leave some comments below. Show me what you've learned. Show me your results, guys. Let's get this going. Let's blow up your team. Let's have fun. Be yourself and be a more confident self, guys. Learn this stuff. Use it. And guys, you're going to make it to the top. So that's what I'm going to end in. I'm going to the top. I want to see everybody there at the top with me. I'd like to meet every single person that's watching my video in person. I'd love to shake your hand and get to know you personally. And you know what? I congratulate you. I really do. Thank you very much, guys. I love you. God bless. Take care.